Sick building syndrome, SBS, represents a condition where individuals exhibit health issues or contract chronic illnesses due to the environments they occupy, particularly their work or living spaces. The illness is often identified by a higher occurrence of complaints such as headaches, irritation of the eyes, nose, or throat, fatigue, dizziness, and nausea. Indeed, this specific explanation of SBS is outlined in the 1989 Oxford English Dictionary. The World Health Organization even developed an extensive 484-page document concerning indoor air quality in 1984, hinting at its potential use for establishing legal actions or regulations. While SBS has been attributed to various non-organic causes, it can be a result of poor cleaning methods or lack of proper maintenance of buildings, especially older post-war ones plagued with aerodynamic issues or faulty construction materials. Meanwhile, other theories suggest the cause relates to toxins from building materials, volatile organic compounds, ozone released from office equipment, or even insufficient fresh air intake. Additionally, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning (HVAC) systems have also been linked to the condition, though the correlation remains inconsistent. Predominantly, the severity of the condition seems to intensify with time spent within the affected building, often ameliorating when individuals leave the premises. SBS has also been phrased as building-related symptoms, giving priority to the victim's symptoms over the notion of a sick building. Exposure to poor air quality is known to lead to adverse health effects, with complaints often revolving around irritation of the sensory organ, skin rashes, allergic reactions, infectious diseases, and disturbances in taste or smell. Poor lighting conditions have also been linked to a general sense of discomfort. Furthermore, respiratory ailments have been associated with the presence of bacteria and fungi in the damp air within homes or commercial spaces, further supporting the existence of adverse health impacts related to environmental conditions within buildings. OSHRA has identified that under the EPA's air quality ratings, polluted urban air is deemed unacceptable and demands filtration treatment systems. HVAC professionals commonly utilize carbon-impregnated filters to combat this. The nature of the toxins present in the air can cause varying reactions in different individuals, with some being more allergic to aspects like mold, while others show high sensitivity to dust. Any small issues, such as weakened fiberglass insulation or smoke from cooking, can be amplified into more severe indoor air quality problems should the ventilation be insufficient. Common items like paint, rigid foam, particle board, exhaust fumes, plywood can trap chemical and biological contaminants within an HVAC system. As air recirculates via fan coils, overall oxygenation ratio falls, thereby becoming harmful. This, in conjunction with stress factors like traffic noise and poor lighting, can result in city dwellers quickly falling ill as their immune systems are overloaded. VOCs, identified as toxic chemical contaminants to humans, are used as adhesives in various building construction products, can induce acute and chronic health effects, including cancer and lung failure. Biological contaminants, such as bacterial spores, fungi, and viruses, can cause allergies and illness known as SBS. Outdoor pollution, like car exhaust, can infiltrate poorly designed structures, leading to poor indoor air quality. Additionally, a 2015 Iranian study found a link between increasing carbon dioxide levels inside buildings to symptoms, including nausea, headaches, and nasal irritation. Various working conditions were linked to specific symptoms, such as higher light intensity being tied to skin dryness, eye pain, and malaise, and higher temperatures correlating with symptoms like sneezing, skin redness, itchy eyes, and headaches. Learning from the past, OSHRA standards 62, 73, and 82/81 were introduced in 1973, reducing required ventilation from 10 cubic feet per minute per person to 5 cubic feet per minute, only to discover that this contributed to sick building syndrome. As per the 2016 revision, OSHRA now demands 5 to 10 cubic feet per minute of ventilation per occupant on occupancy basis, besides area-based ventilation in the breathing zone. The findings underline the critical role that the psychosocial work environment, such as high job demands and inadequate support, plays in influencing the prevalence of sick building syndrome, SIBS, symptoms. It indicates the significance of these factors over physical workplace conditions still. The link between SBS and worker symptoms cannot be negated, irrespective of workplace stress. Elevated stress levels, dissatisfaction at work, Lackluster interpersonal relationships and ineffective communication are commonly linked with SBS. Recent research indicates that stress coupled with environmental sensitivity substantially magnify SBS effect. Various work-related stress factors resonate with specific SBS symptoms. Factors such as hectic workload and conflicts at work have a noticeable correlation with general symptoms like headaches, abnormal fatigue, feeling cold, and nausea. Tightly packed workstations and low job satisfaction often result in upper respiratory symptoms. There's a noticeable increase in productivity at the rate of 1.7 with every doubling of ventilation rates, linking it as an influencing factor for SBs. Work-specific risks also encompass exposure to printer effluents, which consist of ultra-fine particles, UFCs, generated when toner gets heated during printing, causing potential SBS symptoms in some employees. Certain job roles also make one more susceptible to specific SB symptoms. Workers engaged in transport, communication, healthcare, and social job sectors are most susceptible to general symptoms, while skin conditions are most common in tech jobs. Astoundingly, 21 of us. Asthma cases are attributable to damp environments with mold, prevalent in indoor settings, elevating respiratory risks by 30 to 50%. SE also imposes a significant financial burden, with ill health leave costs estimated at $480 per employee due to low ventilation rates. Such areas had 1.53 times higher short-term sick leave compared to well-ventilated areas. It's crucial to note that SBs also result from home conditions, with laminate flooring, recent redecorating, new furniture, dampness, pet ownership, and insect presence all being potential triggers for SB symptoms. Specifically, the presence of mosquitoes was identified as contributing to the prevalence of symptoms. However, the direct cause remains uncertain. Research shows that indoor temperatures below 18 degrees CE 64 def are linked to an increase in respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, higher blood levels, and greater hospitalization. Within the context of sick building syndrome, SEPS, which broadly covers nonspecific symptoms, we have building-related illnesses, BRI, a term for specific diagnosable ailments caused by distinct agents like toxic chemicals, bacteria, mold, and the like. These agents in BRI can usually be pinpointed and measured. There are typically 4: immunologic, infectious, toxic, and irritant agents. For instance, the specific pathogen causing Legionnaire's disease is Legionella pneumophila, identifiable via clinical findings as the source of building contamination. If you reside in such a place, it may be prudent to consider relocating, ensuring the new location isn't worse. Regular building inspections for mold and other toxins, cleaning building elements like roof shingles, using ozone to eliminate sources of contaminants are recommended. Although high ozone shock treatments have been found ineffective using pollutant sources like paints, solvents, adhesives, and pesticides in well-ventilated areas or when not occupied is also important. Increasing air exchanges within a building to a minimum of 84 every 24 hours, as recommended by the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers. Installing air cleaning systems or devices and using central vacuum systems to remove ultrafine particles are crucial. Regular vacuuming with a filter that retains 9,997 of particles down to 0. 3 micrometers. Placing bedding in sunlight, especially in high humidity areas commonly associated with SBs. Designing workplace lighting to give individuals control and mimic natural light, and relocating office printers outside air conditioning boundaries are other important steps. While SBs has no specific cause or cure and affected individuals need to be removed from the building, BRI's specific contaminant provides a lead for treatment, as in the use of antibiotics for Legionnaire's disease. Commonly, enhancing the indoor air quality of a building can reduce or eliminate continued toxin exposure for the affected individual. It may involve dealing with acute symptoms of a specific illness like mold toxins. Treating building-related illnesses contributes greatly to our understanding of SBs. The exploration and evaluation of potential health hazards in a workspace underscores this narrative's theme. Fully assessing the workspace and responding according to the results of the examination and history is a critical method aimed at reducing employee health risks. Researchers remain puzzled why SES, building syndrome, symptoms seem to afflict women more than men, with reasoning speculated to be biological, social, or occupational. This complexity was confirmed by a study in the journal Indoor Air in 2001, which included 1,464 office workers to seek a deeper understanding of gender influences on SBA. The study integrated questionnaires, ergonomic investigations, building appraisals, and physical, biological, and chemical inputs to analyze potential disparities between genders in the workplace, particularly within SBA's context. The research indicated significant variances between genders in several parameters, including workspace size, job characteristics, and most notably, complaint reporting. Women were found to report around 20 more symptoms than men, a finding that aligns with other studies, suggesting a likely gender difference in reporting tendencies. The narrative also noted peculiar susceptibilities among women, such as an enhanced immune response, higher tendency to mucosal dryness and facial redness, and potentially heightened exposure to indoor environmental factors due to predilection for clerical roles. Further, the 1970s witnessed the emergence of office illness as a prominent issue, perceived mostly among inhabitants of new homes, offices, and nurseries. This led to the World Health Organization's coining of the term sick building syndrome in 1986, marking the beginning of an era of extensive research and media attention to the issue. Dominant discussions and research in the 1990s contrasted sick and healthy buildings. There was a strong focus on chemical content in building materials and proactive measures to manage and replace criticized additives by manufacturers. Simultaneously, the importance of effective ventilation was emphasized by the ventilation industry, while others proposed eco-friendly construction, natural materials, and elementary techniques as potential solutions to this growing issue. Sick building terminology particularly pertains to workplace health, where the syndrome swiftly moved from media spotlight to legal battles. In these courtroom proceedings, professional engineers and architects were often the defendants, supported by their professional indemnity insurance. The cases relied heavily on expert testimonies from medical and technical experts, building managers, contractors, and manufacturer settlements, usually confidential, were the typical outcome, with none being particularly sensational. Insurance companies required a defense based on standards of professional practice, following a court ruling mandating HVAC systems in modern, virtually sealed buildings to provide breathable air. The task of standardizing indoor air quality fell to ASHRAE, American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers, an association with over 50,000 international members. Based on their empirical research, acceptability hinged on fresh air ventilation rate, using carbon dioxide as a key measurement of occupant presence and activity-building odors and contaminants were largely managed through this dilution approach. ASHRAE set a carbon dioxide level standard at 1,000 ppm and proposed scents and control equipment for compliance. The 1989 publication of ASHRAE 62. 1989 outlined the reasoning behind these decisions and superseded the 1981 regulations, which targeted 5,000 ppm of CO2, the OSHA workplace limit, in an effort to minimize HVAC system energy consumption. This marked an end to the sick building epidemic. Evolving over time, building materials improved regarding emission potential. Advancements such as eliminating smoking and improving ambient air quality, combined with ASHRAE code, compliant ventilation and maintenance, greatly enhanced indoor air acceptability.